as always. Now, my bias for USD is still pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed in that department. If we start with the DXY, as always, we're still trading at that 107 area. Still having a lot of trouble trying to break through. We had a really nice bearish engulfing candle a couple of weeks ago, and that has been really the statement that has signaled to me that price is really struggling to break through 107, and we're likely going to see some downside. Of course, nothing's guaranteed. Potentially, we could see price break through the high. Nothing's guaranteed, but looking at how we're developing on the higher time frames, particularly the 4 hour as well. Nice break of structure we had a couple of weeks ago. Last week, that lower high form didn't quite break through the low. We did wick through, but no real kind of breaking candle close. So I did say in my weekly analysis, I want to see price go and break through that, but I am looking for more downside and hopefully some more kind of intra-week opportunities, maybe even intraday. Some nice shorts to the downside back to some of these areas. We've talked about this level here. We're not quite far from that. In fact, we actually test that. Did not notice that. We actually did have a test of that area. So the next area we're looking at is 104.8. So yeah, with dollar, still expecting more downside, still looking for lower highs. In terms of looking for shorts, I kind of would wait for that low to break because it was a very strong rejection after NFP, really big wick through that area. Price was looking pretty bearish at one point. Then we switched direction, closed very bullish. So that could be a double bottom for price to actually start moving higher up. So I do want to see some more evidence that price is breaking lower, get some kind of closures below that level, then some shorts would be very much on probably for the rest of the week at that point. So still bearish with USD because of where we're trading. Yeah, I simply can't be bullish at these areas. This is a bearish territory. This is when we're looking for sells. Price may eventually break through this area and we might see a crazy move to the upside, but I'll wait for us to break through. Then I'll shift my bias to bullish at that point in time. But for now, still doing a pretty good job at respecting that area. At a higher high, looks like price is putting its lower highs in now. So I'm looking for some bearish structure back down to these lows, 104.6. So taking that information to euro, I'm looking for the inverse of that. EURUSD had a nice push to the upside, just about taking out these two highs with some wicks. There we just had about a candle closure, which is nice. This area, not so much. So it looks like euro is steadily pushing to the upside. And again, because of where we're trading, I'm only looking for buys for euro. As you can see, massive swing low here. We just about pinched it, but then price closed the back above structure. And of course, looking at the DXY, respecting structure as well, I do think for euro, we can see some upside. And we're trading on some really massive levels on the monthly chart. And again, none of us are really looking to trade the monthly time frame, but it's always nice to know where we're trading and what we're doing in the higher time frames. Really pivotal level of support back in 2016, 2017. Rejected price, really big move to the upside. Bit of a fake out here. This is where we had the crazy move of 2022, where we broke through parity. Price recovered that, and now we're back testing that area of support. And last month's candle, November, gave us a big wick into that same level, piercing through, pull back above. Still closed very bearish, but I can say that we're holding as support so far. So I do think December, or at least the next couple of months, there's a good chance for a bit of a bounce from this area, and probably a really big one as well if we do really respect this level. So I'm pretty bullish with euro longer term, as long as we hold through that. If December, for some reason, we see a strong candle like that breaking through, of course, that'll make me rethink my bias, and probably at that point, we're coming right back to the lows here at 0.97, 0.96. But for now, we're not seeing that at all. And of course, dropping back to the lower time frame, we're seeing structures slowly develop to the upside. So it's going to take a really strong move for us, or at least for me anyway, to become bearish again on euro. So yeah, I'm looking at some upside in terms of opportunities on euro. Again, I guess there was actually some nice opportunities this morning, really coming back into that range there. I would like price to kind of break through the highs properly first before having the pullback, but it looks like price is doing a pretty good job at coming back and respecting this 1.0554 area. It's looking like we might see some upside here. If price can keep that up, break the highs, there could be some really nice opportunities, as I was mentioning on the weekend, on some retests and some pullbacks here, trying to catch the next higher low. We've got one over there, second potentially here, and of course trying to find that third one for the push to the upside. In terms of targets, we've got a few areas we're looking at. Again, pretty much correspond to what we're looking in the dollar. So that low there, and this one here as well. around 1.07800. So that's the plan there with euro, looking at breaks to the upside, pullbacks, and trying to catch that next lower, higher low, sorry. In terms of pound USD, pretty much the same thing in the opposite, well, same direction as euro, of course, but opposite direction of dollar. If DXY is going to take that fall to the downside, I'm looking at pound USD pushing up. Pound USD is a bit tightly knit here. I'm not quite getting the swings I'm looking for in terms of the risk to reward. I want to get involved because, again, I take my entries on the 4-hour chart, so I'm not quite seeing the risk to reward here. Maybe if you drop to the hourly, 30, maybe 15-minute, probably see some nice risk reward opportunities. But the idea is that we've broken through structure here as well. Nice inverse head and shoulder pattern, left head. Oh, let's make sure we can see that. There we go. So left head, and of course you got your right shoulder here. Price is broken through the high there again last week. And then we're looking for a higher low for price to continue. I like this area here. Nice consolidation, similar setup to what we just looked at with euro. Consolidation there, big push to the upside, taking out the highs. Could see price revisit that, although maybe not looking quite likely anymore. But I still think that's a nice area too long. If not, if we could push a little bit higher, could be some nice retest of this area on the next pullback. But the goal for the buys, at least for this week anyway, is to see if we can get a push back to this level here at 1.285, not too far away from that. So still more upside expecting there for pound. Dollar CAD, really strong end to last week. Possibly I could be looking for some buys now with dollar CAD if we go and take up the highs here. It's funny because I'm still pretty bearish with dollar. Looks like dollar's still a little bit weak, but dollar CAD had the time of its life on Friday. They're looking very bullish. I think that's more to do with CAD weakness. But if dollar CAD is going to keep this trend up, because like I said, we're trading at some really pivotal areas, massive weekly level there. If we are really breaking through this, which it appears to be we are, then I do want to see price create some new highs, which is almost done. Not quite. If you can do that this week, I will be looking at buying opportunities on the next pullback. And this area looks like a really nice place to go long. Nice area of consolidation, big break to the upside, no retest yet. That to me looks like a really nice place for some longs around 1.408. If you go take a look at dollar CHF, which someone mentioned earlier, this one did break the lows pretty well. This is kind of what I'm looking for euro to go and do, break the lows aggressively to the downside. It's left behind a really nice consolidation here, which price can come back and revisit. See the next low high, and from then could see another drop to the downside. The only thing with dollar CHF is I don't really have a good read in the higher time frames in terms of what price is doing. To me, it just looks like a bit of a range, equal highs, equal lows. The market's very flat. I know overall we have seen a bit of a bearish trend there, but we haven't really seen it continue, and we're trading at some big areas here of support where we could actually turn around. And now we're kind of in the middle of this range, neither trading at the highs, neither trading at the lows. So I'm not really too interested with dollar CHF because of where we're positioned, but I have to admit, 4-hour time frame, the structure looks really good. It looks like a textbook head and shoulder pattern, really. Your left head, right, break of the neckline, break of structure. So it does leave behind some opportunities for the next lower high around that area. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at for dollar CHF. But from a top-down perspective, not really ticking my boxes, to be honest. And then, of course, you got your Aussie dollars looking for a bit of a bounce here. We have had one. This is looking interesting. I think Aussie was pretty strong this morning. Same with New Zealand dollar as well. Come back to 0.64. Be talking about buys from this area for quite a while. If you want to be aggressive, you can get straight into that level, but I would wait for structure to shift first, which looks like it might be doing pretty soon. You can take out some highs there. Could be some interesting higher lows forming, or even a nice double bottom there could look good, especially with a break of structure there too. So the buys are looking like they're on their way with Aussie dollar, but looking for price to turn around. At least have a bit of a breather from this area. Ends the USD, similar situation, I believe. Yep, looking pretty bullish. In fact, the double bottom looks to be playing out really well there. So we might be seeing that happen as well for Aussie dollar too. But as you can see, came back into a really nice low. In fact, I've just missed the double bottom, or maybe, yeah. It's a tricky one because we did double bottom, but we didn't quite come back and test the daily level there. So it depends how you looked at it. But essentially, the price is holding that support level, which we created last week. I'm back, respected it. We'll talk about the double bottom as well. Looks like we're seeing that momentum kick back into the market. Possibly we might still come back and revisit. There could be another entry later on the week, but the idea is that we're looking for this area to hold and a bit of a bounce to the upside for New Zealand dollar. Looks like it's kind of on its way. terms of gold and silver, not really too happy with gold, at least. Gold looking a little bit bullish. I've talked about some shorts around this area here. I do think we can catch a nice reaction. It might not go too far. It might just be a trade that takes us back into the lows here, and you call it a day. Again, I'm overall still very bullish on gold. I still think there's a very high chance we get back to the highs. Of course, as a lot of people would do expect that eventually, but I'm not really seeing good opportunities to buy it yet. So that's why I'm kind of just staying away from gold. Shorts look good, but I think it's a bit more of a shorter term move. Excuse the pun there. I wouldn't look to hold that trade for too long, but still a nice area. Nice area of supply, really strong move to the downside. Price has been very corrective on the way up as well. So I think there's a good chance we do at least react from 2680 and see some downside moves. In terms of silver, silver's actually a pair on my watch list, and I actually really like silver's price action this week. I know it's consolidating, it's a little bit flat, but if we can break through the highs, which I think is pretty likely this week, then this is a pair which I'm going to be looking very closely at for the next potentially month or so, because I do think there's a good chance we do get right back to the highs here for silver and a lot further as well. But back to the highs at 34.8. You've got a lovely swing low from the low here to the high. And it looks like we're testing 0.618 of that fib very well at 30. So if price can break through the high there, I will be looking at some pullbacks after the break of structure. If that can move out the way, great. So nice break of structure, high, low, so on and so forth, all the way back to the high there will be the plan. So yeah, silver I like a lot. Just need to break through the highs. If not, we very much could respect the high of the range. Sell off again, which is not something I'm interested in, but if it does break the high, it's an indication to me that this double bottom has played out very well. Breaking structure to the upside, buys coming back into the market, and at that point we're probably going to see some higher highs and higher lows forming. Then the opportunities I'm interested in is catching these high lows on the way back to the high. So yeah, silver looks really good, and that's kind of where I'm at with the USD markets. Silver very much on the watch list. A lot of upside potential there. And if it does break through, what's this, 31.5, I'm just going to look for those higher lows. Of course, they have to fit my plan and whatnot, but looking for the higher lows back to 34.8, 35, and so on and so forth. But still pretty bearish on USD. That's still very much the plan. Good morning, Ahmed. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. CS Integrated, welcome to the stream. I will take a look at the DXY. If you haven't missed it, I mean, I'll just go through it quickly. No harm, no foul. Jay Fenno, what's up? Welcome. Long Aussie dollar. Okay, into the 15-minute chart. Nice. Should be in a bit of profit. Targets around. Okay, I'll have a look at that for you. Darkshon, what's up? Good morning, pound CAD. Yep, it looks like it is moving back to the high. I was looking to short pound CAD last week, but didn't get a confirmation, in fairness, so that kept me out of getting into any unnecessary losing trades. But yeah, after NFP, price was just very bullish for pound CAD, and I'm completely backing away from shorting that pair at the moment in time. Probably coming back right to the highs there, but we'll take a look at that in detail. Good morning, Will. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Khan, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yes, we'll go through some yen pairs. No worries. No worries about that. Yes, I have to agree, Ben. Silver looks a lot better than gold. I can get a good read of what silver's trying to do. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm not a guru here, but in terms of probability, if the trend is going to continue, which I think there's a good chance it will for fundamental reasons, for technical reasons, it looks like the trend is still very much alive with silver. And if you start to see some higher highs and higher lows up, it becomes some really nice opportunities to buy that back to the high at 34.8, and hopefully a lot further than that. Silver's got a long way to go, potentially back to the highs, all-time highs that is, which is $50 almost. So I'm liking it. I'm liking silver a lot. I can get a good read of this. Looks like high lows are forming. Of course, there's still a lot needs to happen before I do get a trade. But a strong break of the high. I could be looking at some buys later this week, hopefully.